Yeah. Yeah. Two chain.
What's that on that beat, ho?
I'm different. Yeah, I'm different.
I'm interviewing Marty Carlo III. He is a professional firefighter in the town of North Haven. My first question is, what moral responsibilities and sacrifices come along with being a firefighter?
Well, we have to respect people's privacy. Confidentiality is big. Everything that the patient tells us is confidential. It stays within the circle of the firefighters and the patient and the medical care providers. We also have to treat people with dignity, which means that some patients need assistance in time of need when, say they fall in the bathroom, when they have a stroke, and they have no clothes on, or they mess themselves. So oftentimes we have to get them cleaned up, and we have to put clothes on them and treat them like they're our family member, and treat them with dignity. Because we don't want them to feel embarrassed. We want them to feel like they can trust us, and puts them at ease and makes them feel better. And some of the sacrifices that we make, well, our family makes the biggest sacrifice because of the long hours. Our schedule, we work often nights, weekends, holidays. We work a lot of overtime, so there's a lot of hours away from home. We miss sacrifices. We miss a lot of birthdays and holidays, anniversaries. Also, as firefighters, we do a lot of charity work, community service work, and all that is time away from our families. We give a lot back to the community, so it's a big sacrifice for us and for our families.
So my second question is, what types of spontaneous decisions are how to be made while firefighting?
Well, we make a lot of them every day, but I'll give you an example of one. One time we responded to an activated fire alarm at a gun manufacturing facility. It was off hours, which means there was nobody in the building. This building has a long history of having fires in the building. It has a high fire load and a lot of combustibles and some hazardous materials. The person who was in charge of maintenance for the building, we call the key holder. They have the keys to the building to let us in. That person was 30 minutes away. So we have the option of waiting the 30 minutes for the key holder, or forcing entry, possibly damaging the door, and getting into the building a lot quicker to assess the situation. So even though there was no fire or smoke showing because of their history, I made a decision to force entry into the building quickly and make an assessment to see if there was anything going on. And it was a good thing that we did, because the fire alarm that was going off for a reason, because they had an oil pit that was smoking, that set the fire alarm off, even though we couldn't see or smell the smoke from outside the building. So in that instance, it was a good decision. So that's a spontaneous decision.
My third question is, can you tell me about a time where you saw any social discrimination or a disrespect towards someone in the line of work, or to a person you were trying to assist, and how did you react or respond to it?
Well, as firefighters, we also respond to emergency medical calls. So people in time of need, whether they're hurt or they're having a medical problem, we respond. One instance was, it came in as a lift assist, just a person who fell to the ground, needed help getting back up to the bed. The caretaker was physically unable to lift her mother up and put her back to bed. She was the caretaker for her mother. Her mother had Alzheimer's. The caretaker was very overwhelmed with the mom's medical issues, and she was having a difficult time coping with the needs of the mother. It was taking a mental drain on her. We could sense that her patience was running out, and she was not very compassionate with her mother, and she was indeed frustrated, maybe a little rough with her mother physically, and probably verbally. That was going on while we were there. So we stepped in and tried to intervene and calm the caretaker down, and we assisted her getting her mother dressed and cleaned up, and got her settled into bed, put her covers on and blankets, and made her comfortable. And then we suggested to the caretaker that the town has community services available to her and to her mom to help her deal with the daily caretaking of her mom. And she was very relieved to hear that. She did not know that those services existed, and she felt better and things were calmer, and she became more became a nicer person. So she was going to call community services. We left her the phone number. She was going to call them in the morning.
My fourth question is, do you have to have any active concerns for others in your line of work, and why?
Yes, I have active concerns for everybody I deal with. My coworkers, patients, victims of fires, car accidents, but very concerned for my coworkers, especially at the scene of an active structure fire where we're operating. My guys, my crew are inside the fire. I am outside most of the time, operating the pump, supplying them water. So I am their eyes and ears outside the fire, as well as the incident commander, who's also the eyes and ears. But you know, I'm very concerned for my crew that's inside, because I can't see them. I don't know what's going on inside, so I look out for them outside. I watch what the fire is doing, or what's going on outside. You know, they can't see what's going on outside. They may think that they're making a lot of progress knocking the fire down, when something could be going on outside where the fire is actually getting bigger on the exterior. So it's up to me to relay that information to them, that there's actually fire going on outside, and it might not be getting safe. So they might have to exit the building. So I'm an extra set of eyes and ears for them. So yeah, I'm always concerned for them.
For my last question, can you give me an example of a moral decision that had to be made while firefighting?
Yeah, as firefighters, we come across in people's time of need and their misfortune. After a fire, we might come across jewelry and cash or valuable items inside a house. After doing salvage and overhaul, when the fire is out, and you know, it's very easy for us. It's very easy for us to see that cash and jewelry and put it in our pockets, but it's not even, there's no decision to be made as to whether to take it or not, because we took an oath to help people, and to steal or take their jewelry or pocket their cash would be against the law and morally wrong. But for all of us, I speak for all of us, it's not an issue. We don't even have to make that decision. But to others on the outside, it might be something that they would say, well, how do you deal with that? It's a non-issue. It's a non-issue for us.
Thank you.
Welcome.